Take a look at this. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video to all of your friends. Now let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and today we will finish the shop right here and add that tower inventory system I was foreshadowing, or I was indirectly talking about in the last episode, because it is necessary for our shop system. Otherwise, we would experience some problems, I think. But yeah, so we will just create it in this video. And let's just quickly revise what we have done in the last episode. So, as you can see, we can hit play, and then all of the towers inside of this tower script are being displayed, which is pretty good. Alright, and our plan for today is that, we hit buy, and then one of those stands are being obtained. And the reason why I want to create a tower inventory system is because if you hit buy, then you actually need to choose one of those spots. And let's say, I don't know, maybe in future, okay, we want to create some kind of tower evolve system, or, well, some tower stats which are just, which are connected to the tower. So let's say you have a level 1 Naruto and you want to level it up by applying those other towers into that Naruto, just to raise his base stats. Okay, so that could be a possible topic for a video, but not right now at the moment. But that would be an advantage if we would have that tower inventory system, which I'm gonna do in today's video, as I've already said. Okay. So first of all, btn. So this is our buy button, I think. So let's add a script inside. So this local script right here. Let's copy this tower remote. Let's call this thing server. And where is it? So let's add a completely new script inside. And let's call this thing server as well. So as you can see, we have a data store right here. We will probably need to... Oh, no, I don't think that... Well, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking on what we could do, but let's just, do some basic stuff. So we need to define this remote on both scripts. So on our server script and our button script right here. So local remote, game, get service, replicated storage. There we go. And then wait for child server. Now once this thing has been fire servered, then and then we want the player to either buy the tower or anything else, which we are going to add in the further progress of this video, guys. So there we go. Now let's copy this first line, so it is obvious why we have written this one. So game get service gets this replicated storage right here, as indicated in here, and then wait for child server. So we are basically referring to this server thing. And then the next part, so remote on server event. So on server event is an event of this remote, which happens when the remote event is being fire servered. And then this fire server function passes 3 arguments. So the first one is automatically the player who has fire server. This is automatically, and the rest needs to be entered manually. And for the beginning, I wanted to do 2 arguments, but we might even expand this to 3 or more, depends on what and how we want to do things. Okay, but just for this purpose, we only want to deal with the buy button Okay, so go back into the script, and then yeah, paste this remote line right here. So we have the remote event defined. Then the next thing is that we want to, yeah, every time when our button has been pressed, that, yeah, we buy the desired tower. And how does that work? So we like need to fire serve the remote event, and then we need to check for many things. So we first of all need to pass the name of the desired tower first of all. And I'm going to show you how we can do that. The second thing is that we need to check for the cash of the player. So does the player even have enough cash to buy the tower? And that's actually it. So not as many things as I've just indicated, but at least, yeah, is something we need to take care of. So script.parent, so we refer to this button, and then an event, mouse button one click, connect, function. So when the mouse button has been clicked, then we want to do all of these things. So let's first of all say we want to fire serve the remote event with buy, and then the second argument is going to be the name of the tower, but I still need to take a look at how we have, yeah, dealt with things, because maybe we are even able to, wait, no, shop, tower shop, okay, yeah, so, all right, so there's literally no, I don't know, hint on what tower or which frame belongs to which tower. So of course I'm able to see by certain, yeah, parts that this has to be this tower or this tower, but for a casual script it is not, yeah, not visible. And for those purposes we will rename these frames right here to the towers they are representing. So in order to do that, we need to go inside of the shop right here. Oh wait, not into that one, but into this one. And that's the spot where our tower frames are being cloned. Alright, T-name tower. Oh, yeah. V. Okay, so X name equals T name. So X is our frame, and no, not T, but V name. So X is our frame, our tower frame right here. And we are basically saying that this frame's name is equal to V, which is our tower we're currently at, because we are looping through the tower folder. So equal to V's name, so our tower's name. And that's it. So this should even, yeah, make it possible for a script later on to, yeah, just differentiate between all of these frames and the tower sitting inside of them. So as you can see, we have, yeah, all right, perfect. That's pretty good. Nice. So what we want to do now inside of the script is, so buy is our first argument. Our second argument is going to be the tower's name. Now, as you have just seen, this frame's name is being changed when it is being used for that, yeah, shop display thing you've just seen. So we basically just need to make the second argument the name of this frame, because then we have the tower's name, you know? So that's just what we want to do. So script parent name. So that's what we want to write right here. So script parent name. There we go. And that's actually it. So we can now go inside of our server script again, and then the first value is of course buy. And now, yeah, so now we have just written this, and now the second value is the tower. But before we proceed with this buy system, we need to implement a check which checks if the player has enough money to buy the tower. And for that, we need two things. So we need the tower's price first of all, and the player's cash. And the player's cash is already added because I have like implemented that in the second episode, I think. So where we have dealt with tower placement. No, where we have dealt with upgrading, and that's not the second video. I think that was the fourth video or something, but we have dealt with upgrading our towers, and for those purposes we needed that cash, and that's why we already have it. And the prices, so I think that they are, well, where are they? I've already forgotten it. String video 2, priceless. Oh, right here. Okay, so that's actually not good. So we want this server script as well to be able to access the price list, and storing it inside of that local script is not a good idea. So because of that, we'll probably move it inside of here. So upgrade, tower, shop, prices. Come on. There we go. And then just move that table inside of here. There we go. And now we gotta get rid of this and add a second line called price list. And now we need to refer to this module script right here. So game, get service, replicated storage, upgrade, or let's say wait for child, upgrade prices. And we of course need to require it because it is a module script, so do not forget about that. And then right here we gotta write price list, tower shop prices, I think. Yeah, tower shop prices. And now we can just copy this and make use of it inside of our server script. Yeah. Now, so that's on how you access the price list on client and server. Now the second thing is that we want to access our, or we want to gain access of our cache information. So for those purposes, let me just quickly show you what we have done in terms of the cache. So where the cache is being stored, etc. So the cache is currently stored right here inside of the player. As you can see, I have tons of cache. Oh, and we could actually just change. Wait. So let me just quickly change this thing. Cache. There we go. Or let me just change it via this local script right here. So let's forget about the rest right here. Let me add another line called cache, and then we refer to our player because the cache is installed inside of our player, and then wait for child cache, as you can see. Okay. Now the next thing is that we want to refer to this text label right here because it clearly displays our cache status. And we want to change the text to whatever our cache is, so it actually is not 1000 the whole time. So script parent cache text, so we want to make changes on the text, and then equals, and then we can easily copy everything up to cache, and then those dots, cache, and then the number is of course, yeah, is changeable depending on what cache. Yeah, so cash value. So let me just explain why in a bit. So everything to this point is understandable, I think. These two dots just connect this and this text. And cash value is just the value of our cash value inside of our local player, which I've just showed to you guys, which was at 67,000. And we basically just refer to that value, and it is a number value. And for those purposes, I'm just converting it to a string, means to a text, just to avoid any issues Roblox could possibly print out. So maybe it complains about that numbers and strings cannot be connected together or whatsoever. So just to avoid that, okay? So there's nothing more to it. And that's on how you make the cache being displayed right here, but only once. So it does not react to changes, okay? And in order to make this react to changes, so when our cache has changed, we gotta do one thing. So cache changed connect function, and there we go. So changed is an event of our cache integer value. So change is basically an event to almost every instance. Well, not to every, but almost every. And it just indicates that something has changed regarding the properties of that instance. And if our cache changes its value, means our cache has been changed, then we of course want to change the text as well to whatever our cache has changed to. And the best way to detect changes to this integer value is just to make use of an event which is responsible for that. And once it changes, we just want to adapt or make the text adapt to that change. So that's just everything to that. Let's see how it looks like. As you can see, it has changed the cache. It is not 1,000 anymore, so I could basically just make this, I don't know, any random high value. And let me just mention one more thing. So as you can see, I'm currently at the client's perspective. So changing the cache will not actually change it on the server's perspective, which is the real perspective. So as you can see, it is still at 67,000, while it is at, I don't know, 999 billion whatsoever. And if you want to actually change your cache so that you can actually keep it, then I advise you to change the perspectives first of all, and then to apply those changes, guys. Okay, so that's on how you display your cache inside of your shop. But we actually wanted to continue with the buy system. So let's copy this variable right here and let's add it to here. So we actually wanted to have a variable which stands for our cache. Okay, so I just had to go AFK. I didn't know where I left off, but so we have this cache variable right here. And now we, of course, need to compare it to the price. So how do we do that? So we have our value 2, which is our tower's name. And we first of all, need to get the price from this price list right here. So let's create a variable, which is going to be empty at the beginning. And then we will look through this price list. So price list, tower shop prices, I think. Yeah, tower shop prices. Do. And so as you remember, this is V, this is I, okay? So just for you guys to remember. And then we're just gonna check if I is equals to value 2. If that's the case, then we want to set the price. So we make price equals v. So this is I, so the tower's name, and v is the price. Okay, so just for you to understand what is happening right here. And then we check if there is a price. So if the price is not empty or exists, then we want to check if the price is lower or equals cash we currently have, so cash value. And if that's the case, then we can say cash, so our cash is going to be our cash currently minus the price. So our cash is basically the cash after we've bought something for a certain price. Okay. And if this happens, then we want to acquire the tower. So let's say tower acquired. So this is actually the buy mechanism. It's not done yet, but okay, wait for child. Oh yeah, oh okay. So of course we do not say game player's local player, we say player. So that's what we want to do. Alright, but this should work. So tower acquired. As you can see, my cash is getting lower, but yeah. Okay, so we are now able to click the buy button. Our cash is being reduced, but how do we actually acquire those towers? So that's the point where our tower inventory system comes in handy. So we need to script that first of all. So how do we do that? Let me create another data store right here. So I'm gonna create a tower inventory data. So this is going to be a data store for the tower inventory. So game get service, data store service of course, and then get data store, I think, and then just the name. So tower inventory. So this is going to be our data store's name. Alright, and now we need to do certain things. So game players, player edit, connect, function, and there we go. So every time a new player joins, then we want to do the following. So we want to add a folder inside of our player, which represents the inventory. So I forgot to add this player as the first argument. So this is the player, of course, which has just joined. Now we create a variable which is our folder, so instance.new. So we are basically creating a new instance, which is a folder and which is inside of our player. So player. So the first argument is the instance we are creating, and the second argument is where we are putting it to. Okay, and now we can just give it a name. So let's call it inventory, or let's call it tower inventory to be exact. And yeah, so that's almost it. So we are now going to create a pcall. I don't know if I have done it in this. Oh yeah, it was in this series. So what a pcall basically does is when you put a specific code inside of that pcall, then so usually if you encounter an error, the whole script breaks. But if you wrap it inside of a pcall, then it does not break. Okay, so it simply just gives you a certain variable which tells you that your script has run into an error, but it does not break the whole script, which is perfect for us. Well, and for the data store purposes, because data stores tend to cause errors if you do not do it correctly. So we are basically creating this pcall right here, and if it succeeds, so if the code below does not give out any errors, then our success variable right here is going to be true. If it runs into an error, then our error message is not empty anymore, so it basically is being overwritten with the error message. And what happens inside of this pcall is, of course, the process of our data being loaded. So that is going to be that's going to be inside of this p call. Okay, so that's to that. What I'm still thinking of, what we can do. Okay, so let me do one thing. So local load, tower inventory data, get async. So what this does is we are referring to our inventory data store and then getting this async. So basically we're just loading the data which is being stored on a certain key. Okay, and what a certain key is well, it can be anything. So in many cases games or developers just use the player's user ID because it is very unique. So imagine that you would, for example, save the data on a key called tree. Okay, and if you do that with every player, then every player has the same data because the key is not unique. The key is the same for every player. And that's why they all have the same data, because they all depend on that same key and on the data which is stored on the key, which is stored on the key called tree. But if every player has its own key, means their user ID, because user ID is like the only thing which is unique and is linked to the player. So if they use their user ID as the key, then they all can have different data and unique data. So that's an advantage to that. And we are going to do that as well. So we are going to make the user ID be the key. So we are loading the data which is stored in our player's user ID. And now there are two outcomes. So if there is data to load, then it is of course being loaded. And then we are loading it, means we are, creating those values, etc. And then we classify it as loaded. And the second outcome is that there's no data to load. So what happens then? Well, in this case, nothing happens. So we're not going to even check for the case of there's no data, because I'm gonna do a inventory system, and if there is no item, then there is no item, so there's nothing much about it. So we only want to know if there's an item. But in other data store purpose cases whatsoever, it is quite interesting to see if a certain value exists. So for example, when we talk about character customization, so if you want to know if the player has a certain value on the hair or the accessory, for example, then it's interesting to know if that's the case, because if it's not, then the player is going to walk around with default hair accessories whatsoever. But that's another topic, so I'm losing a bit of relevance. So if there's data to load, then we are of course going to load it, means we are going to loop through the data which has been loaded. So load view. Then we are just going to create a value which just represents the data. So the data, guys. So we are creating a new instance. Let's say an integer value inside of our folder we have just created. So folder x.name is going to be b. And that's actually, there's nothing much, or there's nothing else I want to do in terms of this inventory system. So the focus is going to be on the saving, I think. Let's create a new function called save. And we of course need to pass the player. So it is probably going to be a bit difficult to follow data stores, especially when you're new to Roblox Studio and scripting in general. But if you are able to link events or things you see on the Explorer to what the code says, then I think that it is becoming more easier to understand. So that was exactly what I experienced when I started with scripting. So let me just quickly show you what the code right here has done. So we have our player right here, and now we have this tower inventory, okay? And if there was something saved on my data, which is not the case because we have just created this data store. So if there was something saved, then this tower inventory folder wouldn't be empty. Okay, then we would have, yeah, some towers inside of that. And that's not the case currently because we are still creating everything. So this part of the code becomes more visible to you guys when we actually have the save function implemented and it actually works. So let me just quickly do that. So the save of course needs our player. And what we want to do in terms of saving is we want to receive all the data which needs to be saved. And the data is of course the content of that tower inventory folder which you have just seen. So every value which is inside of the tower inventory folder is going to be saved and is going to be created later when the player joins back. Okay, so that happens down here. So we are again going to do for IV in pairs, and then we are going to loop through the player's tower inventory folder. So basically the folder which we have created down here. So refer to that folder and then get children. So we are getting every content or every child. So Roblox calls that child. Yeah, so we're getting every child inside of that folder. All right. Okay, so now we need to add a new table. Let's call this one save data. And it of course is empty currently, but we're going to change that. So save data, and now we need to determine the spot on which we want to save the entry we're going to make. Instead of those brackets, we have to determine the spot, and the spot is of course I don't know how to say it, but well, the last spot. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3, and then the spot we want to save onto is the last spot. So in this case, well, not 3 but 4. So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So if we would have 6 entries already, then our spot we want to save on is 7. Okay, so 1 more than the last spot. So save data gets the length of the table, and if you would have 3 entries already, then the length would be 3 because you have 3 entries. So our last spot, well, so this thing does not give out the last spot, but the length, and the length equals the last spot. So our last spot, let's say, plus 1 equals the entry we want to make, which is the value's name. Okay, once we have written that, so do not forget to empty this one. So once we have done that, we can just easily save everything. So tower inventory data, set async, and then save data, I think. And the second variable argument must be the user ID. So user ID. Let me quickly look up the row. So set async. All right. Okay, so we actually need to swap these two things. Well, the first argument is always the key, and the second one is the value. Okay, but this one should work now. Let me just play removing. So let me just create events in which we will use that save function. So let me see what I've done right here. Bind to close. Okay, so let's just easily copy this one and add it right here. So this case is for when the game is about to close, and this one is for when the player is leaving. But in Studio this does not work, so we have to find that in this line right here. Okay, and let's see if... oh well, wait, let me remove it. Well, so our inventory system should work now, but we are of course going to test it. But we first of all need to implement one more thing inside of our buy function right here, our buy process I mean. So we did not create this without any reason. So once we have bought a tower, we want the value of that tower to appear in that folder. So that was my intention. So let me just quickly write that right here. So we are creating a new instance, which is going to be an int value. Inside of that player's tower inventory folder, so tower inventory, and that value's name is going to be the tower's name. And now let's hope that this works. Okay, so let's keep an eye out for this tower inventory folder, and there we go. So there's a new value being added inside, and so I'm able to spam these literally, and they are becoming more and more. And now let's see if they actually saved. So that would be pretty cool. Perfect, really, pretty good. All right. So now we are able to create a shop, which actually works. And now we need to create the inventory in which you can assign a certain tower to your tower things right below, and where you even can sell your tower, or probably sell, because delete wouldn't make any sense. So why would you want to delete a tower when you can't sell it? So let's do that in the next step. But before we do that, I want to check for something else. So we actually need to enable the GUI. So script parent our shop visible true when we are in that radius. When we're not in that radius, then we want to keep this thing false, of course. And now we can actually delete, not delete, but make it invisible, and test this thing out once again. There we go. Okay. Now let's create a new button right here. Let's create a new button which will open the tower inventory once it has been clicked. INV stands for inventory. Okay, let's keep it right. Let's keep this thing right here. And now let's duplicate this tower shop. Let's call this thing tower inventory. And let's change some certain things inside. So first of all, let's remove that. Let's make this thing much bigger. There we go. So regarding to this, we can do something else with that. Okay, tower frame. Let's create another. Let's just duplicate this one. Let's call this tower INV frame. So special frame for our tower inventory right here. And what we want to do with that is, so let's change the design a bit. Okay. No, not tower name. Let's change it to, edit, maybe. Yeah, let's move this thing back instead of the replicated storage again. Now let's take a closer look inside of here. Nope, so we do not need this one because we do not want to check for any prices. Therefore, we can delete this as well. And this one as well. So we want to change this, and we do not want to loop through the tower folder, but well, we have to define this one right here. Let's refer to something else. So we of course want to refer to our inventory, local player tower inventory. Tower inventory. Okay, so it loops through our tower inventory right here. So open this again. Let's just see how this will work out. Okay, doesn't do anything. Probably because let's add this to it. Okay. Oh. T, wait for child, control. Oh. yeah, so what happens, what the issue was is that, yeah, so we formally did loop through this folder right here, and we were just simply able to clone one of those objects and then simply just move them inside of our viewport frame. But we're not able to do that anymore because we are not looping through this tower folder, but we are looping through our tower inventory, which just contains integer values, and these are not able to be displayed inside of a viewport frame. So we of course need to replace this one with one of these towers right here, and we do that by saying or referring to that towers folder first of all, so towers, and then wait for child bname. So that should work out. Let's see. There we go. So this does work out, but okay, so we forgot to, where is it? So we had to clone them. I forgot to add that. All right. Perfect. Yeah, so that's it. Now we should put this inside of a function. So update list. Let's put this inside of a function. So I'm not going to explain this one further because everything which I've just edited has been explained by me, and the rest was topic in the last video. So I recommend watching that if you did not understand what I've just done. So why do we put this inside of a function? Because we can now just basically call this function instead of pasting this whole code inside, and we will need this function multiple times. So of course at the beginning, but also in our tower folder, aka our tower inventory folder, is being updated. So if new values are being added inside or being removed. So we are going to make use of two events right here. So child added and child removed. So if a child or a new value is being added inside of our folder, then we want to call this update list on it again. And if our tower folder loses a child or a value, then we want to update the list again. And we need to add something more to this update list, because imagine that it updates at the beginning and then has folders inside of here, and then it updates again and just adds new values to it without deleting the former ones. So we have multiple frames which are just overlapping, and we first of all need to clear this scrolling frame from any values or adding new ones to them. So that's what I'm going to do up here. So script parent scrolling frame get children view, then just basically v destroy, v2 destroy. So I'm going to repeat it. So to prevent multiple frames to overlap, so former frames but also new frames, so to prevent them from overlapping, we just need to clear the frames which are being displayed currently to display newer ones, otherwise they would overlap. And that's what happens up here. So we are looping through the scrolling frame and deleting every child inside, and the only childs which are being inside of the scrolling frame are those frames, those tower frames. So just to demonstrate this, let me delete a value right here. Okay, so they have moved. Okay, pretty funny. Let's put them right here. And now this should work. So as you can see, one is missing. Now keep that in mind. Let's delete another one. Now 2 more are missing. And now let me just duplicate 3 more. And now, wait. Let me duplicate 1 more. Okay. Alright. So this works now. Now how do we assign those towers to either one of our one of our towers below, or how do we sell them? So in order to do that, we want to create another frame. Let's put it inside of here. And this frame will pop up when this edit button has been clicked. So you have probably seen that edit button. I have added to that tower frame. And once that has been clicked, we want a certain frame to appear, in which you can choose certain actions. Buttons. Well, the first ones are of course going to be about assigning the desired tower to any of the towers below. So tower 1, tower 2, etc. So up to 4. So the last one is going to be sell. And well, I actually do not like the design, to be honest. Well, let me see to find some changes to that. So let's just do it this way. Now we also need to add a close button up here. Let me just quickly do that. Okay. Probably need to move that a bit more up. Okay. Action frame. Alright, so let's put it up here. And let's make it invisible. And now, where is it? Tower in frame. So, let's disable the script. And let's do the following. So, local action frame, script parent, action frame. So do not wonder, there is no action frame right here. Oh wait, script parent, so we need to add one more parent. So no, wait. Script parent, no, we need to add one more parent. Well, there's no action frame right here, it is inside of here, but you gotta imagine that once this moves right here, this will become valid because the action frame is actually at the desired place. And we therefore need to disable it, because otherwise, if we would leave this enabled, it might cause errors. So I'm not sure if scripts are able to play within the replicated storage, but it would cause an error because there is no action frame anywhere inside of this replicated storage. So if script parent mouse button has been clicked, so if this button has been clicked, then we want the action frame to be inside of the scrolling frame. Or no, we want to, yeah, let's say we want to clone it. Let's call this thing AF, stands for action frame, and let's clone the action frame, and let's paste this new cloned action frame inside of the scrolling frame. So script parent. Let's make it visible. But before we make it visible, let's position it. So AF position equals yeah, udem2 new. Now I have to think. So script parent so we want to position, so we are going to position x scale plus size scale minus 0.1. Let's do the same for the y coordinate. X btn local script disable false. So do not forget to disable this local script right here. Perfect, guys. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I've changed my mind. So instead of cloning it, let's just use the real one. Okay, perfect. And now there's one more thing I want to add inside of here. String value. Let's call this one currently editing. And let's set this action frame currently editing value to our tower's value or tower's name. Script parent name. Okay, so that's it with this one. And now we need to script those buttons right here. Okay, let's create this local script. Okay, so we gotta loop through all of these. No, we gotta loop through of this action frame. No, we gotta loop through this action frame. I'm sorry, guys. So script parent, your children do, and we only want to, check for those text buttons because only these one have a relevance to us. Okay, so the text button. So the mouse button one click connect function. There we go. So if any of those buttons has been clicked, then we want to fire server a remote event. I can actually remember to have, mind. Let's just copy this server remote event. Remote fire server. Yeah, so what are we actually fire serving? So the first argument is the task. So for me, so that's how I work with fire serving. And the task is going to be determined by those names. So fire server right, if, well, let's just do a check first of all. So if the name equals sell, then we can sell. Else if the name equals tower 1 or tower 2, tower 3, etc. So go. Then we want to sell, and else if the name is close, then we want to close this whole thing. So well, let's get rid of this one because wait. Oh, no, let's get rid of this one. Let's just say script parent visible false, script parent wait. First time that I'm confused, guys. I just wanted to move this inside of the tower inventory. How would I do that? Script parent. Wait. Script parent. Oh my god. Is that the way? Guys, is that the way? Not sure. Let's just see. What is happening? God. So that is our action frame. Now it's not inside of there anymore. Perfectly. Perfect, perfect. Okay, it is being moved inside. Let's change this Z index to 2, because then it overlaps, or is above, and that's what we want. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we just gotta fire server those remote events. So remote event, fire server, cell, and then the currently affected or currently editing tower. And then the same down here. So we want to change our tower toolbar and then the position. So which tower we want to assign our currently edited tower to with our currently edited tower. And let's just script those pretty quickly. So this is about buying. Now else if value is sell, then we want to get the price of the thing we are currently selling. So let me just take a quick look. Okay, so we are getting the price, and now the player will receive cash value equals cash value plus. So the player receives cash, which is going to be the usual price divided by 2. So that's to selling. Oh, and after we have sold it, we of course want to delete it. So if tower inventory data find first child value 2, so value 2 is the tower's name we are currently selling. So if it is inside of our tower inventory, then we want to remove it because it has been sold. Okay, now the next thing is about changing. So value is change. Then where is it? Yeah, so the first argument is the tower we want to assign it to. So local x instance.new int value tower inventory data its name. So I'm just trying to quickly do this because we are already at 1 hour. Name is equals the player weight per child value 2 value. Now this one becomes the new tower. So I'm quickly going to explain this if it works. Let me just see if it works, and then I'm gonna explain it to you. So let's, come on. So do not forget to put the Z index to 2. So it does not, so it overlaps, it is above. Okay, so let's put this as tower 2, as you can see. Tower 2, well it did not, well this one did not change, but well it actually removed a gear 4. Wait, let me put this one as, oh well, wait, it did not change at all. Wait. Let me just quickly remove. All of these except for those three. Now let's say I want to put this as tower 4. Okay. Okay, pretty funny. It is not supposed to do that. What did I do wrong? Oh my god, come on. Are you serious? Oh my god, come on. So I thought that tower inventory data, so I did not read it correctly. I thought that this referred to our folder, but it did not. And that was the issue, guys. So we were working with the data store and not the folder itself. Let's hope that it works now. Okay, so if we sell it, then it is being sold. Cash. So remember the 3 last numbers, and they update. Alright. So that's it, guys. That's it with this video. Oh wait. I forgot to explain it. So what we're doing is that, so value 2 is the tower spot we want to assign our new tower to, and the value 3 is our new tower. So we are creating a new integer value inside of our tower inventory, which is going to be the former second tower, because it now is not the tower anymore and therefore moves inside of the inventory, or moves back. And the new tower, so in that tower spot, which has just been replaced, so that tower is now becoming the new tower, and therefore needs to be removed from our tower inventory folder. So in this thing, or at this line, we are updating the tower, so we are replacing the tower, and we are removing the tower value from our tower inventory, because the tower has now moved inside of our tower hotbar, tower toolbox whatsoever. Okay, so I hope that you can understand that. If there are any questions regarding this tower inventory system, then feel free to comment. I'm sorry if the explanation was not that well, but we are at 1 hour, guys, and I do not want to unnecessarily make this video any longer. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, share this video to all of your friends, guys, and give me feedback in the comments section. Take care and see you in the next video.